everyone, and welcome. I am Terry Hartley at Rustic Fun Cards, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator coming to you from Iowa. And I have some spooky Halloween cards for you today. It is definitely feeling like fall here in Iowa. And although I think it's going to warm up some. So as you jump on, or actually, today I am not live. This is a recording, but I would still, as you're watching this, please say hello. Let me know where you're watching from because I will definitely go back and read all of the comments. So today I had an appointment, so I'm not able to be here live, but I'm glad that you are here and I hope all of you are doing well. So um, this will you be well. I don't know when you'll be watching this, but I am recording this for my weekly live on Tuesday, September the 9th at 1 p.m. Central. And that is when I normally come live. All right. Well, I will have barn chats. I have a couple things to tell you what's going on uh, at Rustic Barn Cards. So, barn chats I do at the end of my video because I want to do crafting with you and not, you know, make sure that I give you value. So I'm going to turn the camera down and stop talking so we can get started crafting and making some Halloween cards. And this is a sample of the card that we're going to make. We're going to make this next card just a little bit different so I can give you two different ideas. And so this is Happy Halloween. And then inside we have some bats and a little pumpkin, and you can, add whatever that you want to this. So it's quick and easy. This would be great to, if you have children at home, you could give it to their teacher. If you have grandchildren, you could make some Halloween cards for them, neighbors, lots of different ideas. All right, well, let me show you the stamp set really quick, the Spooky Halloween. And we are going to be Happy Halloween, Spooky, Don't Worry, Eat Sweets, No Tricks, All Treats, Bats, has some like little stars here. You have a Dracula dog, a cat, witch, I guess, with the broom and a little pumpkin. And then you also have dies. Now, we're not going to be using the dies today, but I wanted to show you the spooky Halloween dies if you haven't seen them, because it has like extra, like, there's some bats, there's a witch's house, spider, a fence, and then also to cut out all of the images. So a really cute set. And then let me show you the paper. Now the paper is called, let me see. The paper is called Halloween Sweets. Halloween Sweets. So you get two double-sided, five double-sided design. I'll try again. You get 12 sheets. You get two each of 5 double-sided designs, and you get 2 sheets of single-sided pre-cut images. So this is the one side that's not quite as busy. And then I'll quickly show you the other side. So again, you get 2 of each of these. And then we're going to be using this today. Aren't these adorable? So again, you get 2 each of those 5 double-sided designs, and then you get 2 sheets of single-sided pre-cut images. And I left them in the package because if I try to take them out, they're going to start coming off, and I'm not quite ready. But we're going to use a couple of these. We're going to use a bat, and we're going to use this little dancing bear. But I just wanted to show you. So you get 2 sheets of this. So you've got a cauldron and some bubbles and brooms and candy corn, a hippopotamus, and a tree. And so some potions. So lots and lots of There's a hippopotamus. Lots and lots of fun in here. All right, so let's go ahead and make our card. So I'm going to start with a card base, and this is going to be basic gray, and it's cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and you scored at 4.25. So I'm going to go ahead and just fold it over. So, and then you're going to need 2 sheets of Timid Tiger cardstock, or that is what I use. And of course, you could use any color that you want, and they're cut at 5.25 by 4, and you're going to need 2 of these. And they'll both be the same. And then you're going to need a basic white, and this is 3.75 by 5, and it's going to be our inside layer. And then you do need a little sentiment strip, and it is 1.25 by 1 5/8. So it's the sentiment is 1.25 by 1 5/8. So I don't know if you, there we go. Maybe if you want to do a screenshot, that's kind of a, there we go. All right. And then we do need designer series paper, and we're going to use the designer series paper that has all the frames on there. And I'm going to go ahead and cut that on camera so you can see how I do that. So let me go ahead and move these aside for right now until we need them. And I'm going to use a piece that I've already been working with, and I already used some of the scenes. And we're going to cut a scene at 3.75 by 5. So I'll grab my trimmer. So here is a scene. To me, here is a scene. Here's like a pumpkin patch, and over here too. So I think I'm going to use this one here at the bottom. So it's like walking up to a house, and because I'm kind of thinking this is kind of like trick or treat. So we need a 3 3/4 across. So I am going to go ahead and put this in our trimmer. So I will be making 2 of these. So I'm going to cut 2 frames, but we're just going to use 1. So I'm going to put that at 3 3/4, and then I'm going to look at that. Okay, so I want it to be a little bit higher up here. So that means what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take off a little bit of the bottom of my designer series paper. So that's why I'm doing it on camera. So I kind of show you, what I am doing. And so then I am going to go ahead and put this back at 3 3/4 and see how that lines up. And I'm still wanting it just a little bit more, but not much, because I want to make sure those pumpkins are there. But you can always take more off, but you can't add it, right? All right. Okay, now I do want to get, you know what? I think I'm going to do my 5 inches. I'm not really helping you figure this out, am I? I want to see where the 5 inches go. So we do want 5 inches in the length here. So I am going to just cut the frame at 5. There we go. Let's do it that way. So I cut it at 5, and now I can do the 3 3/4. Okay. And I think I'll take off from this side. So I'm going to just cut it in half. the two frames. So I've got the two frames. And then I'm going to place it here. And I'm going to take off this orange that I don't need. Now, I was showing you this so you would make it easier for you, but I think all I have done is confused you. But we do have 3 3/4, and we have our 5. So that's exactly what we need. Okay. So now let's go ahead and do some stamping. And then we'll put our card together. So I'm going to lay that aside. We are going to use basic gray. That's the only ink color that you need today. But as you can see with those frames, they work really great. But you do kind of have to think in how you want it to be. What part of the frame that you want to have on your card. Because the frames are a little bit larger than what you're going to, work with. So I put some bats and a little pumpkin, and then we're going to bring in Happy Halloween. And this is, of course, from the stamp set that I showed you earlier. And I'm going to place this close to over on the right as I can. All right. And then I grabbed a blending Stampin' Blends light Timid Tiger. These come light and dark. So, and I'm just going to go ahead and color our little pumpkin. You can use markers or just whatever you have. And then we'll go ahead and just adhere this on the inside of, actually, we're going to adhere this to a Timid Tiger. So I'm going to bring in our Timid Tiger, which is cut at 5 1/4 by 4. So I'm putting an extra layer inside our card base just to give it a little more Halloween, just a little more color. I mean, because who doesn't like the Timid Tiger, right? It's so pretty. Of course, you could use pumpkin pie or any color that you wanted. Now I'm going to bring in our card base, and we're going to add this right inside here. So the Timid Tiger is 5 1/4 by 4. And then the basic white is 5 by 3 3/4 that I stamped on. Okay, now we're going to bring in the second Timid Tiger. That's cut at 5 1/4 by 4. And we're going to bring in our frame. And so our frame should fit right here. And if I was to do this again, I would probably cut that off and then have more at the bottom. But it is what it is, right? Although, let's see. Let's just see if we could do that. And no, we're just going to leave it like it is. But you could cut it off if you wanted to and then bring it up a little bit. That just looks like a second story. Or maybe a veranda up there. And then we're going to bring this in. And then we're going to decorate the front of the card. So when you cut the frames, maybe cut that 5 inches first, the length, then work on the width. That probably would have been better. All right, let's go ahead and bring in our sentiment and add some. I don't want the mini, I want the regular. And we will add and we'll place that the right side up. You know, we could place it right up here. Let's wait for that and see. Let's go ahead and bring in our little dancing bear. I'm not going to take the back off because I'm going to kind of see, do I want to put it like right here because she is trick-or-treating. I kind of like the Halloween, so we're going to have to cover up that pumpkin. But so I'm going to bring this to the edge of my timid tiger, and I'm going to have a little bit of the sidewalk showing. Although I'm going to try to get it straight. There we go. And then we will place her right here. Now, since this is already popped up, I'm going to make sure these dimensionals are not over here. They're on this side. And then I'm going to bring in a bat, which I do not like bats. Yes, I have lived in houses where there has been a bat or two once in a while, and I'm so happy that we have never had any bats where I'm at now. So I know bats are supposed to be good, right? They eat insects, but they're fine outside. I just don't want them in the house. All right, now let's bring in these adorable shimmer star foam stickers. Look at that. Aren't those pretty? Got white, you have purple, you have black. So I use purple on the other one to kind of bring out, and I think I'm going to this time. I'm going to use larger ones, but you could use, you could use white, you could use even the black ones would be would be nice. All right, so here is our card, Happy Halloween. And see how quick and easy. The hardest part was me figuring out the frame, but it's really not that hard. Just do the 5 inches. I mean, yeah, 5 inches here, and then cut your 3 3/4. And again, you may have to trim it a little bit, like I did, to get the frame to be like you want. So here was our sample, and here then I used a different frame for this card here. So I hope you like the Halloween cards. It is quick and easy. I using the designer series paper, using those stickers, but yet we still did some stamping. We still used ink stamps and paper today, didn't we? All right. Well, let me go ahead and we are going to go ahead and do barn chats. And barn chats is just a way for me to finish telling you about what's going on here at Rustic Barn Cards. So my first thing is that I want to talk to you about my club. My club is a subscription club, and I'm using Gathering Moments bundle. And this month, you'll receive over $30 of product. You'll be making 7 projects. You'll be making 6 cards, 2 each of 3 designs. Here we have a fun fold. And so you get some over $30 a product. You get all the prep pieces prepped for you. If it's part of the dies are part of the bundle, those aren't die cut for you, but everything else is embossed and die cut. You're also getting a little retreat or a little treat pouch this month. And so in the description, if you'd like to read about it and give this month a try, you can do that. And then the 12 weeks of Christmas. Guess I'll just turn my camera back up because I don't have my flyer close to me. But the 12 weeks of Christmas registration has ended for the make and take to go packets, but you can still receive a video and a tutorial each week absolutely free by being on my email list. If you're already receiving emails, newsletters from me, then you're set to go. But if you aren't, in the description, just click sign up to be part of my email. And later this month, each week for 12 weeks, you will receive a video and a tutorial to help you with your Christmas planning. And I have teamed up with my two good friends, Sarah from Handmade After Dark and Connie from Great Stepping with Connie, for the 12 weeks of Christmas. All right. Well, I think I have covered everything. I hope you liked the cards today. Again, I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. Please consider giving me a thumbs up, a like, leave me a comment. It helps YouTube and Facebook to send things out more often so people can see that. And I'd love for you to subscribe. All right. Take care, and I'll see you next Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central. Bye for now.